So the big question is this: what to ask on a first date? Today we're exploring that all-important first date and some great questions that you might want to ask. My name is Nwosu and welcome to the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. So over the weekend, I had my first ever virtual dating meetup. And it was very, very exciting. Everybody got to date everyone because it was a speed dating event. And so it got me thinking about first dates and some of the great questions to ask. You see, first dates can be thrilling, but it could also be really nerve-wracking, especially when you start considering things like, what do we talk about? What kind of questions do I need to ask? How do I get beyond the superficial chit-chat, talking about the weather and stuff? How do I ask questions so I can really get to know the person and they can get to know me too? Well, the secret lies in the questions that you ask, and it can really lead to meaningful, engaging conversations and connections. So let's dive into some of these questions and what they look like. Okay, so a quick simple one is, it's simple and it's open-ended. What's been the highlight of your week? This is more specific than asking how your week was or did you have a good week. Asking what's the highlight of your week can lead to some insights about what his or her daily life and interests are. Another question is, what are you passionate about? Because this allows the person to share more about what really drives them, whether it's their career, their family, their hobbies, a cause that is close to their heart. You will get to know a little bit deeper about this person than the superficial conversations. Understanding someone's background can really be helpful. It can really give you some great insights into who they are and why they think the way they think and why they behave the way they behave. So asking a question like, what was your childhood like? Or tell me about where you grew up. These can create space for him to share stories about his upbringing and give you some personal history about his life and the type of person that he is. If you want to delve more into the person's personality, you might ask something like, rather than saying, tell me about yourself, you can just say, how would your friends, your best friends, describe you? And then it's a lighter, less confrontational way to find out about his own perceived strength, because you always want to portray the best bits or attributes about you. So you will get to learn a little bit about his perceived strengths and maybe even some of his quirks that his friends think he does. So it's a really, really great and fun, lighthearted way to ask that question. Now let's touch on values, because you know I'm so big on values and future aspirations. So asking something like, what's something you want to achieve in the next few years? That can reveal how ambitious the person is and also what their long-term goals are. So not just in a professional life, but also in their personal life as well. So that way you can start to really know, okay, are we aligned? Do we want the same things? Is there a possible shared vision here, or is there a vision that I could buy into? It's a great way to really know where their mind is at, where their head is at, and what they want to accomplish in their life over the next few years. To some people, humor is so important, and humor is a great way to connect with people because it's light. There's no pressure. So you can ask questions around, what's your favorite comedy movie, or what's your favorite comedy show? Or do you have a funny story to share? Or do you have a joke that it's your all-time favorite? He can tell the joke, she can tell the joke, or you can just bond on humor. Humor is so easy. It really eases off the tension of the first date and can allow both parties to really, really relax. So those are some few questions, but asking questions are good, but listening is also great as well. So as much as you're asking some great questions, be sure that you're listening, and not listening to respond, but you're listening with genuine interest and nodding and saying, interesting. Really show that you're hearing what is being said is a really, really strong foundation for a potential relationship. So be sure to always have that listening, and listening twice as much as you speak, I think, is the rule of thumb here. So there you have it. Some great questions to get you started on a first date. It should be enjoyable. Never forget that. You should be having fun as much as you're learning about the person. So kick back, relax. Don't take it too seriously, right? It's just the first date. Both of you are nervous, understandably. So just try to be as comfortable and as natural and as authentic as possible. And as always, be open to connect. Because if you're not open, then it doesn't really matter what questions are being asked. You're closed off. So be open, be expectant, be curious, and just have an amazing time. So for your next speed dating session, those are some questions that you can get started with. And if you would like more help on questions about dating or how to show up or how to dress I have lots of information around dating. So be sure to reach out to me, connect with me on Facebook, ask any questions, and I'm happy to help. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Second Chances Podcast, a love journey in black and white. Till next time, sending you love and light.